Hello. I'm just going to share another little bit with the Varoma and just give you a few tips on, the best way to use your Varoma. Okay. So it is a salad I'm making, which, I am recording. I just thought for a second I wasn't recording. It's a salad I'm making for dinner, and I'm just going to prep a little bit beforehand. So let's get rid of that. It is in my week. Asparagus and broad bean salad. Now, I love broad beans and love asparagus, so this is absolutely a match made in heaven. So let me start cooking, and let me just make sure I've got my volume up about these things. Oh, turn you right up. Okay. All right, off we go. So first of all, it's asking me to pop some feta into a bowl. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to do that a little bit later. Then it asked me to insert the butterfly whisk. Here we go. All right, popping that in. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Got a bit of water in it. So I'm just popping over the blades, giving a little twist. And then it says 60 grams of olive oil. So popping that in, scales are there. That'll do. And it says 1 tablespoon of white balsamic vinegar. Now, I don't have white balsamic vinegar, but in the spirit of using up what's in the cupboard, I've got a bit of, this is actually a concentrate, caramelized balsamic, which I made in the Thermomix. So I'm just going to use probably about, I'm just going to guesstimate, all right, just chucking a bit in, basically. Okay, so that's salt. Pepper. All right, so this is just the dressing. So popping my measuring cup in, lid on, 20 seconds, speed 4. Maximum speed with the butterfly is speed 4. Well, that was exciting, wasn't it? Anyway, remove the butterfly whisk and transfer it into a small bowl. I'm just going to pop it into this jug. You could put it in a jar. I don't have one handy, otherwise I'd put it in a jar, just to give it a bit of a shake before I use it. It's not a whole heap. I'll just grab the spatula, scrape out what I can. Okay, all right. Now it says, do not clean mixing bowl. You've got to love it when it says that. I'm going to add 500 grams of water. Okay, that's fine. Now, it's asking me to insert the simmering basket and weigh in 300 grams of frozen broad beans. Well, the broad beans are in here, all right? Just going to break them up a little bit. So they are frozen. I literally pulled them out just before. Then it wants the Varoma in position and asparagus weighed into it. All right, whoops, put the lid on. 1 minus MC. So I've got the there. So we're layering. We're steaming the broad beans, and they're obviously, because they're frozen, they're going to need to be closer to the temperature or to the heat and the steam. They're going to use some of that up, and then it's going to come through to the asparagus. So it's all well thought out. Just thinking I've got spilled something on here. Just wipe that up before I put my elbow in it, which is not a good idea. Okay. All right. Then I've got my asparagus in. I've got the lid on. And I'm going to turn to speed 2, all right? It's Varoma temperature. Move it away from my cupboard so it doesn't do anything there. But what I'm going to do in the meantime is just move you over here. on with me and just talk a little bit about the Varoma and general steaming. All right. So, actually, before I do that, I want to show you a couple of things. Right, I'm going to come in here. This is the salad I'm making. So, asparagus and broad bean salad, really simple, 4 portions. So, if you want to scale, you need to do that yourself in creative recipes. Okay. So all the ingredients. So really, it's just a few leaves on there. Says some rocket. I've got rocket. Some leaves. I haven't got the basil, but I've got the mint. It's in the garden, getting wet. And it gives you nutritional content down there. And it's from the book called Eat Well in Australia. But the other thing I wanted to quickly show you in here is I'm just going to just put that in there for a minute, just so I've got something to search. And get out of there, and I'm going to go recipe collections. And not that long ago we had this whoopee dressings. We have a collection of 17 dressings here, so if you're looking for salads and things this summer, great spot to look for them. We've got Caesar miso, chimichurri, aioli, basil oil, Japanese. I don't know what's in there. That looks amazing color. Carrot, apple, garlic, rice wine vinegar, olive, tamari. Oh, yeah, that sounds really good. Might make that one. Orange curry, mustard balsamic, yogurt. So a whole lot. The caramelized reduction. So that's the sort of thing that I had there. Okay, so a whole lot. And what I can do now, I have actually saved it. I'll remove it first. I'll save it. So I can save the whole collection. And now when I come into my recipes and I go to save collections, it will be dressings. There it is. Okay, so if you want to save whole collections, that's the way you do it. Now, coming out of there, what I want to explain was about using the Varoma. So there are basic principles with using the Varoma. So as you can see, I'm just steaming some vegetables. You could steam your vegetables in there any night of the week, all right? And there's so many salads and things that you can actually use the Varoma for. But the basic principles are you need to have a minimum of 500 grams of water, liquid, stock, whatever it is, in the bowl, okay? Now, that you can do that for a 30-minute time frame. For every 15 minutes over 30 minutes that you need to steam, or you're going to steam whatever it is you've got to steam, you need to add an extra 250 grams of water. All right, so it's minimum 500 grams, 250 grams for every 15 minutes after 30 minutes. You have it on Varoma temperature, and it's usually on speed 1. All right, this is on speed 2. But often it is speed 1. And where you can find this information, it's a different spot depending on which Thermomix you have. But I know the TM5, it's towards the front of your basic cookbook. In the TM6, it's towards the back of your basic cookbook. So I'm just going to find it for you. There's a whole lot of information in here if you haven't looked. So we've got resources here. Oops, there we go. All right, and the first lot, so that's page 307 in your TM6 book. We've got chopping function, and it tells you how long, weights and how long you chop things for. All right, but let's skip. So it's got chopping, it's got chopping, mincing, crushing, it's got grinding and milling, and then it gets to steaming. All right, and in here it tells you exactly what I've told you. 500 grams or 500 mils of water with 250 for every extra 15 minutes over 30 minutes. Varoma temperature, speed 1. And the time is here. So if you're doing things manually on the home screen, you set the time, okay? Obviously, if you're in a recipe like I am, it's doing it for me. But just for example, you want to steam 800 grams of asparagus, it tells you the time here, because remember we're going from cold, is 23 to 35 minutes, depending on what. So that's the top line there. All right. So it's always 500 grams. You probably get away with this, even though it says 25 to 35 minutes. Varoma temperature, speed 1, you decide the time. So that's all about vegetables. There's steaming vegetables, 2.5 pages of steaming vegetables, steaming fruit.
steaming fish and seafood, and steaming meat. Now, some people have a little bit funny about steaming meat, but I'll tell you what, it is the most delicious. It's gorgeous. And it's a really great adjunct to salads. So steam your chicken. You can do it in small pieces if you want to have shredded chicken. So you steam your chicken, you pop it back into the bowl when you finished, obviously empty out the contents of the bowl, pop your chicken in there, 4 seconds, speed 4 reverse, and that will shred your chicken. All right, but this isn't particularly about shredding chicken, but it's a good tip to have. It's about steaming and trying to use your Varoma a bit more. So please feel free to ask any questions if you've got them, but I'd love to see you using your Varoma. Don't hide it away in a cupboard. It's just the best thing.